Well, with me here in the studio is Bozogmir Sharafeddin, who is with Persian Service, and Darius Bazargan from the BBC's Persian Service also. Thank you both for being here. Darius, if I could start with you, because you produced this item, you watched it. I mean, the mechanics of this footage, I mean, where does it come from? How were you able to confirm its credibility, that kind of thing?
Well, the story starts with a cameraman called Hadi Bakhbani, who's an Iranian and has some ties to the regime, we think, because he managed to get embedded with what seems to be the Quds Force, the elite overseas arm of the Revolutionary Guards, which is not just for anyone to get access to. And as you saw in the package, this unit that he was embedded with got caught up in an ambush and were killed, and the rebel force recovered the video camera and his footage. Now, for them, this was a big coup. It proved...
For the rebels?
For the rebels, yes. It proved their long-stated allegation that Iranians were in some ways involved on the ground in military activity. They burned their logo onto this footage and put it on the internet.
Which is that what we see? We're looking at it now,
That's
actually.
right, yes,
okay.
in the top left-hand corner of the screen, and put it out on the internet. And through contacts, including through a Dutch channel where I've got friends, we made contact with the rebels and got access to the full rushes.
I mean, what's interesting about the fact that there was somebody embedded with the Revolutionary Guards taking these pictures? I mean, we're using it to show Iran's involvement. I mean, who was the intended audience of these pictures? Presumably not the likes of you and me in a TV studio in London.
No, absolutely not. We think that it was probably an internal film, a sort of corporate video, if you will. It was a Revolutionary Guards film about the Revolutionary Guards for the Revolutionary Guards. This was never intended to be broadcast in Iran either. It was an internal promotional film, possibly a recruitment film, about what they're doing in Syria. And the way that some of the characters talk to the cameraman, they're very, very comfortable with him. And they're almost talking through the cameraman to their higher-ups in Tehran,
right.
Sometimes with some complaints, sometimes with suggestions, that sort of thing.
And Bozogmir, so here we have it, I mean, a body of evidence, if I could call it that. It's not the first time, obviously, that this has come up. What's Tehran's usual response to this kind of thing?
Iran has been involved in fights outside the country. For example, in Lebanon, at the time, it was involved. But Iran doesn't announce it at the time. It was involved in Bosnia as well. But only after a few years, Iran proudly comes and announces that we were involved. In this case, in Syria, this war and Iran's involvement have been covered so far. But I think it's known for the whole region that Iran is supporting Assad quite...
But this footage, and I'm sure you'll agree, I mean, that's why you're here, shows more than just support. It's not, it's not the military advisors that Tehran usually habitually talks about. I mean, these are people getting stuck into the conflict.
Exactly. So I think the significance of this footage is that for the first time, we see Iranian soldiers in Syria. And by Iranian soldiers, we mean Revolutionary Guards. And there is this special branch of Revolutionary Guards which is called Quds Force. And Quds Force is responsible for the whole foreign policy of Iran when it comes to Iraq, Syria, and Lebanon. So,
sorry to interrupt. Just very, very quickly, I've got to ask you, does this muddy the water as far as Iran's involvement in any kind of political discussions, in any kind of diplomatic discussions?
I think it will give Iran a stronger position because we know Gulf countries are supporting the rebels by weapons and arms, and it's not something secret. And I think Iran, by showing that we are by the side of Assad, and because Iran created a significant change in the battleground, because Iran, by military advice, we will show that in this film, that they helped the Assad to turn the tide of the war. So I think it will give Iran a stronger position and an upper hand in maybe Geneva talks.